The Last Voyage, Part 4, Paul's Struggle with the Truth. "Dad, please, just listen," Myles pleaded, his voice earnest. "The scriptures, they tell us who we really are." His father, Paul, looked on skeptically from his armchair. "Son, I've lived my whole life as a black man in America. I know who I am. What you're saying, it's the truth." "Look," Myles insisted, pointing to a Bible verse. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 46. "And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever." "A sign? A wonder?" Paul shot back, rising from his chair, his face a mask of anger and historical pain. "Son, our people have been through slavery, Jim Crow, poverty. You call that a wonder?" "Because we disobeyed," Myles said, standing his ground as he held the open Bible out towards his father. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." Paul scoffed, turning away. "Curses? So everything our ancestors endured, that was a punishment from God? I can't accept that. We are strong. We survived. Our strength comes from Him, Dad, even in punishment," Myles pleaded, clutching the Bible to his chest. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 says it all. "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." Paul was silent, the words hitting him with the force of a physical blow. He slowly sank back into his chair, his face falling into his hands. "Egypt means bondage," Myles explained. Kneeling beside his father's chair, he placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "We were brought into bondage again, on ships, just like the prophecy said. We are the true children of Israel, Dad, the people of the book." Paul looked up at his son, his eyes filled with a new, dawning understanding and a deep-seated sorrow. "All this time," he whispered, his voice cracking, "we've been lost. But now we're found," Myles said, helping his father to his feet. He recited one last passage. "For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord. Because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. They stood together as a new chapter began." Paul sits alone at the kitchen table early in the morning, staring at the open Bible Myles left the night before. His coffee grows cold, his hands shake. He whispers, "This can't mean what it looks like. My people shall know my name." Isaiah chapter 52, verse 6. Myles enters the kitchen quietly. Paul doesn't look up. "Myles, these verses you showed me, they sound like us. Our history, our people." Myles nods slowly. Paul mutters, "But we're just black. We've always been just black. Even the very hairs of your head are all numbered." Matthew chapter 10, verse 30. Paul closes the Bible and pushes it away. "I've lived 50 years believing we were nobodies, abandoned, forgotten. How could we be chosen?" Myles replies softly, "Because Yahawah said we are. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord hath chosen thee." Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Paul stands up, pacing. If we're the chosen ones, then why did we suffer like this? Why were we enslaved? Why stripped of our names? Myles points to the scriptures, because chosen people get corrected, not abandoned. "You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you." Amos chapter 3, verse 2. Paul slams his fist on the table, tears in his eyes. So all these years, the curses, the pain, the broken homes, the hatred, it wasn't random? Myles shakes his head. "It was written, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever." Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 46. Paul sits back down, overwhelmed. he whispers. I always thought Israel was over there, those people on the news, the ones the world protects. Myles opens the Bible and turns it toward him. Prophecy doesn't fit them, Dad. Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. Luke chapter 21, verse 24. Paul stares at the pages. His vision blurs. He remembers school lessons, church sermons, movies, news reports, all telling him who he was not. He whispers, my whole life, I believed the lie. They have healed the hurt of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 14. Myles gently places a hand on Paul's shoulder. You're not alone. All of us grew up blind. That's why Yahawah is waking us up now. Paul shakes his head. But why reveal it to you first? Why not me? He showeth his word unto Jacob. Psalm chapter 147, verse 19. Paul covers his face with his hands. Son, if all this is true, then everything changes. Who we are, who I am, what I taught you. Myles kneels beside him. That's why Yahawah gave you a son who can see, so you could see through me. Fathers shall be turned to their children, and children to their fathers. Malachi chapter 4, verse 6. Paul lifts his head slowly. For the first time, the veil is nearly gone. His eyes are red, but awakened. He whispers, Myles, teach me, show me everything. Myles smiles, tears forming. I will, Dad. We're Israel. It's time to remember. In the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. Baruch 2:30.